hour in radio, the Ron and Fez Show. Thanks for being with us on a Tuesday. John Kerry urged college students to go into public service, in particular the Peace Corps, to help repair the damage to America's reputation around the world.
Yeah, that's what I want to do after just putting 4 years in school. Go work for free overseas. You know, now this is my problem with this whole thing. Now it's everybody else's job to clean up the mess. Why doesn't Donald Rumsfeld go work in the Peace Corps for 4 years?
Go build a bridge. John Kerry sounding very JFK here.
Well, it's the same initials, and he wants you to do that. But if not having a new idea in 40 years, yeah, that's JFK.
How long would it take to clean up America's image abroad?
It's going to take a long, long time. It's going to take, and I'm not kidding when I'm telling you the rest of the world just sees us as being totally whacked out. And for whatever reason, this country does not want to look at that. Nobody wants to sit back and say any of this stuff has happened and we're being perceived that way.
I honestly think America's image can be turned around in one day, November 2nd of this year. If President Bush isn't reelected, I think countries will come running to work with John Kerry. Or 4 years down the road, whoever the new president is. I think it's all about the one guy.
No, not necessarily, Fez, because that one guy now has to get us out of Iraq, and he's got to turn a lot of things around. He's got a huge job ahead of him. I don't know if FDR could do it today. I don't know if suddenly we could dig up FDR and hit him with some kind of rebirthing magic pill that the scientists are working on, the same kind of Jurassic Park, and I still think he's going, wow, is this one bad? This is, so we don't even have Nazis. Nope, we don't.
It's worth a try. Security costs for the Republican National Convention this summer will hit $76 million. That's according to the police commissioner, Ray Kelly. He said that yesterday. Does New York City wish they never had the Republican Convention now?
Yeah, I'm sure that they do. And they also wish they didn't have Bloomberg. They can't make a dime on this now. It's going to cost them a lot more money. And like last month, or a couple months ago when they did the study, it was only $40-some million. They are now worried that they could get up to 1 million protesters for this convention. That's a huge, huge problem for the city of New York.
This actually sounds like the war where it says, all right, we're going to need 76 million, and that's just scraping the surface compared to exactly what we're going to need.
But nobody's talking about this, and maybe they really need to sit down and seriously talk about it, because you've got that city, which is really on an island. Everybody's stuck together. If they get 1 million people in the streets coming from everywhere, it packs that city out. It's going to be very difficult. It would be the perfect place for terrorists to walk in and out of that stuff. How are you supposed to defend it? What are you supposed to do?
And with New York City, the protesters were applying for a permit to have a rally in Central Park, and they turned that down. If they don't rally there, if they don't have an organized rally, which is going to be nutty enough, they're going to find a place to get together anyway.
They're just going to be in the streets, and it's going to be a Chicago 68 situation. It's not good for anybody. I wish that they could, find a different plan. New York City is not an easy place to pull this off if you have trouble. The subway system, there's nothing but bridges, there's tunnels. It's really a scary deal, and I don't see anybody really talking about it and talking about it hard. I mean, one of the things that the president doesn't want to do is go out to his daughter's graduations because he knows the way he's going to be treated there by those kids. What do you think is going to happen in a city of Democrats like New York City, where I don't know whether they're played everywhere else, but they would get 500,000 people in the street before the war started. People would just show up. They can pull together demonstrations really quick there, and there's no place to put people.
Again, this is expectations that didn't come true for this administration, thinking that it was going to be so close to the 9/11 anniversary that President Bush was going to be hailed as he came into the city, like when he stood on the fire trucks.
Yeah, he was going to be the conquering hero of New York.
Just like when the troops went into Baghdad and we were going to get parades. The expectations have completely gone opposite. Rick Santorum, the senator, was greeted with boos and turned back Saturday while giving a commencement speech at Cheney University.
So they actually gave him boos. That's not a bad commencement speech if somebody's cutting you some Tullamore Dew while you're up there.
Boos like hisses.
I like this story because they actually did the old Amish trick where people stood up and turned their back on him.
He was shunned. Now, why would you book Rick Santorum? to come and speak at your university. He's not real popular, especially with college-age crowd.
And I don't know whether you're familiar with Cheney University, Fez. It's about 97% black. And they bring in a Republican, a very conservative Republican, and I have no idea. I'm sure he's on the phone with his agent going, there's nobody can pull this off. Trust me right now, Gingrich couldn't come in here and turn this crowd around. Make sure I get paid up front.
All right, on the list of guest speakers, how far down the list did they go before they got to Rick Santorum?
Well, before him it was Spike Lee.
Oh.
They always try Cosby first, then Spike Lee, and then Rick Santorum. That's the way it's moving.
And some other college was just griping last week about having Big Bird speak at their commencement address.
His name is Howard, and he's the morning show here, and you should respect him. Respect him.
Sesame Street's Big Bird.
Stop it. It's just wrong and it's mean-spirited. We don't do that kind of radio.
Osama bin Laden's family business is on the short list of contractors bidding to build the world's tallest skyscraper in Dubai.
Yeah. Hello? Yeah, give me blow-up construction. Yeah, they can do it cheap, everybody. They actually plant the bombs while they're building.
I can understand them getting rid of the building that's on that site, but going ahead and building a skyscraper. All right, it would really serve him right if someone knocked his down.
Well, I don't think it's he himself, is it? I don't think Osama is answering the phone. That bin Laden family is one big crazy clan. Literally, they make the Jacksons and the Kennedys look normal. That's how bad the bin Ladens are. But they always go out and play touch football, the people in the neighborhood. Say in the summer, you always see the bin Laden family. They're close. They're very, very close.
They'll be on the Cape in the Persian Gulf this summer. President Bush is expected to make a speech early this summer to push his space exploration plan again.
I wish that he would dress up in that Star Trek outfit. I wish that he would come out looking like he's Captain of the Enterprise and turn everything around for us.
If he just combed his hair straight down and put on some pointed ears.
Why does he keep going back to space when our own planet's blowing up in front of us? And he's also going to have problems this summer, whatever that stupid Ice Cap movie is.
Day after tomorrow.
Yeah, the day after tomorrow. So everyone's going to be screaming him for that. And now he wants to go to Pluto.
He may be looking for a new place for us to live. If he came out and said that we're screwed here and we need another place.
Well, you know, they say that the meek shall inherit the earth, Fuzzy, and that's the ones that are too afraid to get on the spaceships and get off this stupid rock. Because this thing is toast. Let's face it, it's toast and it's smoking.
The last time he did this, he came out and he said, we're going back to the moon, and we're going to put a moon base, and we're going to have robots, and then we're going to go to Mars. If people didn't get excited about it the first time, how are you going to try to sell it once again?
This time he's going to bring up anti-gravity boots. He forgot to mention that, and that would have had everybody together.
Now, when he was talking to his NASA scientists here about putting together a program that they can do, one of the things he said was, hey, the worst thing the voters can do to me is send me back to Crawford. He goes, and that's liberating. Now, when he starts making comments like that, it makes me wonder if he's preparing himself to lose.
I'm not familiar with this. I don't know what you're saying. So he said to what?
He said that the worst the voters could do to him is send him back to Crawford in November. If he loses the election.
So he's like the worst, and that's not so bad.
Right.
Oh, okay, I got you now.
And that's liberate. Now, I don't know why he said that to NASA scientists.
He's funny. He's a real funny guy. He's joking around. He's having a great time.
But it seems like he's getting himself prepared for something.
I think he's prepared to go to space, the final frontier. That's his big preparation.
Former First Lady Nancy Reagan endorsed human embryonic research Saturday night. The research is opposed by President Bush with those stem cells.
I love this speech, Fuzzy, where she said we need to kill more fetuses. That's what we need to do to take the steps ahead. She said that if this stuff would have happened earlier, maybe, she told this terribly sad story about, she's got him there, her husband with her, but she doesn't have that guy that she married, nobody to share memories with, and here's the opportunity, and the president's, as she put it, C-blocking it.
Yeah, so it's a tightrope there where the Republicans, against stem cell research, at least the president and the administration, but if they were for it, they could save their icon President Ronald Reagan.
Oh, I don't think that you're going to be able to save him now. It's going to be these people. I don't think suddenly you're going to come up with a stem cell and he is going to be back and feeling strong again. But people that have his condition, yeah.
So President Bush is going to have a tightrope here with the stem cells.
I don't think it's a tightrope for him. I don't think it matters to him. The big difference in the right between the Bushes and the Reagans is that the Reagans weren't born again. The Reagans weren't really tied up in the church and what the church wants to do, and they basically were on the economic side there. So the Republican Party, like all parties, you got different factions there as well. We're going to take a break, Fezzy. When we come back, plenty to talk about. Let's get into the Survivor stuff. It was a big Survivor Sunday night. We'll be right back in a few moments. It's the Ron and Fez Show.